Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island. The team explores whole new areas of the island. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the guys started exploring new areas of the island in the hope of finding new treasures and historical artifacts. The team began searching for shipwrecks off the coastline and also hunted for a secret shaft on Lot 8. The Curse of Oak Island always mixes disappointment and hope into a murky soup of emotions, and this week was no different. The third shaft, DH-82, at the Money Pit ended in failure at a depth of 150 feet, where it met the same fate as the previous two shafts by hitting bedrock. All is not yet completely lost. The team has one more shaft to drill before the end of the season. But with yet more disappointment at the Money Pit, the team has, understandably, started increasingly switching their focus from that area in an effort to find artifacts and treasure elsewhere. Oak Island team begins looking offshore and on Lot 8. The guys are pinning a lot of hope on the promising data uncovered by CSR GeoSurveysOld on Lot 8 and off the coast. The underground surveyors used magnetometers to detect metal deposits underground and out at sea. Last week, the guys took to the high seas and identified two areas where they felt further investigation was needed. This week, they enlisted the help of marine archaeologist Lee Spence to assist diver Tommy Sampson in exploring areas where they suspect there is a shipwreck. The two divers hit the water with handheld magnetometers, and they were soon getting hits for metal. Unfortunately, they couldn't see anything on the seabed, concluding that the object was obscured by silt and kelp. Frustratingly, the guys will not be granted a permit to excavate if they can't lay eyes on something of potential interest. The magnetometer readings are not enough. But the good news is that Lee Spence, who has over 50 years of experience in finding shipwrecks, reckons there are two shipwrecks buried down there, and that the team should investigate further. The plan is to wait until late winter/early spring when the waters are clearer, and it'll be easier to spot something. The guys also took a ground-penetrating radar device to further explore Lot 8. This area has been continually uninhabited and is a largely unknown quantity, but the CSR crew recently detected a large iron deposit below the surface. And last night, the guys thought they might have found an actual shaft. The radar picked up two unusual readings at 5 feet and at about 20 feet under the ground. The size and shape of the deeper anomaly appeared to indicate there may be a shaft. Once again, the guys will need a permit to dig, but with their determination, they're bound to find a way. Oak Island team chose a new spot to dig. Meanwhile, back at the Money Pit, Crate Tester had an idea of where to put the fourth and final shaft. This time they're moving to the east and will follow in the footsteps of Erwin Hamilton, who dug a 170-foot shaft in 1940. At the time, Hamilton hit a tunnel, but thinking it was probably just a booby trap, he ignored it. Crate believes it may have been a secret chamber. The team has previously found traces of concrete from the same area, and the chapel vault is thought to be encased in concrete, so the guys reckon it's worth a dig. Fingers remain, as always, crossed. The morning sun cast a golden hue over the enigmatic landscape of Oak Island as the familiar hum of machinery filled the air. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, stood at the edge of the swamp, gazing at the expanse that had yet to reveal its ancient secrets. The Curse of Oak Island, an elusive riddle that had captivated their imaginations for years, now beckoned them to explore new areas in their relentless pursuit of the truth. As the team assembled, their excitement was palpable. Crate Tester, ever the analytical mind, was already reviewing the latest geophysical survey results. "We've got promising anomalies here, here, and here," he said, pointing to various spots on the map. Alex Lagina, Rick's son, leaned in closer, his eyes filled with determination. "Let's start with the anomaly near Smith's Cove," he suggested. We found some intriguing artifacts there before, and it's worth another look." With a nod of agreement, the team set off towards Smith's Cove. The cool sea breeze carried with it the scent of salt and adventure. As they arrived, Gary Drayton, the metal detection expert, wasted no time in swinging his detector over the sandy ground. The beeping of his equipment was a familiar sound, but today it seemed to hold a different promise. "Got something," Gary exclaimed, his eyes lighting up. The team gathered around as he carefully unearthed a small, corroded object. As they cleaned it, the details became clearer: a coin, possibly from the 17th century. "This could be another piece of the puzzle," Marty said, his voice filled with hope. "But we need more to go on." As they continued their search, Jack Begley and Doug Crowell ventured into the dense forested area near the Money Pit. This part of the island had always held a certain mystique, with its towering trees and underbrush concealing countless secrets. Jack, always eager for an adventure, pushed forward with determination. "There's something about this place," Jack said, his voice tinged with awe. "It feels like we're on the verge of a major discovery." Doug, the historian, nodded in agreement. "The legends suggest that there could be hidden chambers beneath us. We just need to find the right spot." Back at the swamp, the team had set up a sophisticated drilling rig. Terry Matheson, the geologist, supervised the operation with his usual precision. "We're drilling down to see if we can hit any voids or cavities," he explained. The drill bit whirred to life, and the team watched with bated breath as it descended into the earth. After what seemed like an eternity, the drill suddenly hit something solid. "We've hit wood," Terry announced. The team exchanged excited glances. Could this be part of an ancient structure, perhaps a hidden vault or a collapsed tunnel? They carefully extracted a sample, revealing a piece of aged timber. "This wood is old," Rick said, examining the sample. "We need to get this carbon dated immediately." The team worked tirelessly, sending the sample off for analysis and continuing their exploration. As the day drew to a close, they gathered around a campfire, the flickering flames casting shadows on their faces. "Today was a good day," Marty said, his voice filled with satisfaction. "We're getting closer, I can feel it." The night was filled with the sounds of the island, the rustling of leaves, the distant call of an owl, and the rhythmic lapping of waves against the shore. As they sat in contemplative silence, their thoughts drifted to the countless souls who had sought the island's secrets before them. They were part of a long lineage of dreamers and adventurers, bound by the shared quest for truth. In the days that followed, the team's efforts intensified. They expanded their search to the far reaches of the island, exploring areas that had remained untouched for centuries. Each discovery, no matter how small, was a piece of the larger puzzle. At the northeastern shore, they stumbled upon a peculiar formation of rocks. Laird Niven, the archaeologist, examined the site with keen interest. "These stones look like they were deliberately placed," he said. "We might be looking at an ancient marker or boundary." The team meticulously documented the site, their minds racing with possibilities. Could this be another clue pointing to the fabled treasure, or perhaps a remnant of the island's early inhabitants? The more they uncovered, the deeper the mystery seemed to grow.